Alex Shurikat presents my very emotional parody audiobook, Steamgelion! Our greatest characters: Саня Иванов,
Marina Kalina,
Римма Кагевич, Commander Ivanov,
Raya Ayanova, Honka Latranenko, Hani Katzman,
Толя Сусухав.
Roma Kazi.
First season, episode 21. It was summer, Ukraine. 12-year-old Anka is running across a wheat field. She's wearing a traditional Ukrainian outfit, a male outfit. The saber on the belt tinkles. She screams,
Mom!
A woman working with a circle breaks away from her job and, brushing the sweat from her forehead, replies,
What do you want, my son?
Anka stops and asks offendedly,
Mom, why am I a son for you? Because you are a son.
Mom says uncompromisingly and goes back to job. Anka rushes back and shouts on the run.
I leave home and become a pilot, Mom!
Such was Anka's childhood. Her mother wanted a son so much and raised her daughter like a boy. But nature took over. On the same day, Anka ran away from home to a recruiting station. Impeccable characteristics as well as her ability to drive a tractor and a combine played an important role, and Kalina, who was among the members of the selection committee, recommended that Anka be considerate. Remembering this now, Anka stood with dice in her hands in the training room and sulked a little at Sanya, for the fact that he did not let her laugh at Kalina, who was sitting behind bars. Both other pilots, Kalina and Agevich, were watching Anka attentively. Everyone held their breath. Finally, Anka rolled the dice, and after dancing their short dance on the table, they showed a 6-6.
Have you seen it?
Anka asked with incredible pride in herself.
5th 6-6 in a row!
Sanya cried, grabbing his head in his hands.
I'm a total loser!
Raya, who was also far behind Anka on points, asked.
Gary, what are you thinking about? Receive and sign!
Anka answered.
Especially you, Sashko! Anka, why are you angry again?
Sanya asked in bewilderment.
Is it good to laugh at a person who was put under arrest?
Comrade Kalina frowned and smoothly like a tank turret turned her gaze to Anka.
Wait! Sashka, traitor you are!
Anka pouted her lips.
Why are you standing up for her now? Sunny, my kitten, well done. So, Anka, do you like to laugh?
Further, a new squabble was to begin, but at that moment, Comrade Ivanov entered the training room. Wow, he said, patting his palm with a tablet that strongly resembled a schoolteacher's tablet. The whole team is here. Comrades, please follow me to the classroom.
To the classroom?
Everyone asked in surprise. Exactly, comrades. The Communist Party ordered a 10-hour training program. With an exam.
With an exam?
Everyone asked with fear. And so, the whole gang sat down in the classroom, which was no different from a school class. There were also 3 rows of double desks, a large board hung on the wall, and a teacher's desk was slightly raised above the floor. Attentive glances from the portraits of Stalin, Lenin, Engels and Karl Marx additionally decorated the atmosphere. Komitonov looked over his glasses at Comrade Kalina, who was sat down on the very back desk, and said, "Comrade Kalina, why are you playing the fool like at school? Sit closer. Here next to Comrade Agevich, where's the free place? Isn't she your friend?" Comrade Kalina muttered something under her breath about the fact that friends sitting in the first desk aroused suspicion, but she followed the order. As a result, everyone sat in a row on the first desks. Roa, Sanya sat modestly in a separate place, respectively, Raya sat with Anka. "Well, let's check the attendance," Komitonov said, opening his tablet. "Akakevich, Rimma." "I'm here," she calmly answered. "Okay." Komitonov nodded, making some kind of mark. "I know Raya." "I'm here," Raya said with some surprise. "Great. Ivanov Jr.? What, I'm here? No, that's in a lesson. Marina Kalina?"
I am. Comrade Ivanov, does it amuse you to play a teacher?
"Now let's see how you will play a student. Litvinenko Anka?"
Here. Teacher, will we have a school bell?
Komitonov pulled a gilded Tokarev pistol from his holster and fired at the ceiling. A blank cartridge. Komitonov reassured, putting the pistol back in its holster. "It's instead of a school bell." Comrade Kalina poked her finger in her ear and asked,
And when will the break?
"I knew what you would ask about the break. The break will be in 2 hours." So, Komitonov ran his eyes over the list of students. "Comrade Kalina, please come to the blackboard."
Why am I first, sir?
"Because I place my highest hopes on you, Comrade Kalina. Please to the blackboard." Comrade Kalina got up and went to the blackboard. Komitonov asked, "Leave your weapon at the desk."
Oh, I won't shoot you.
"Well, if you won't shoot, then leave it." She reluctantly placed her submachine gun on the table. "So," said Komitonov, "Comrade Kalina, what is written in the first line of the combat chatter?"
Our cause is right. The enemy will be defeated.
"Well, lie more. Let's see how your fantasy works."
You say it's not written where? Do you know what is written where?
"If I didn't know, I wouldn't ask." "Raya, what is written there?" Raya stood up and answered.
Under the strict guidance of the Communist Party of the Soviet Union.
"Enough, my lord. Sit down. Follow the example of Raya, Comrade Kalina." Comrade Kalina squeezed out from her teeth. "Next question. What should an officer of the Red Army do when captured?"
Shoot yourself, sir.
"Yeah. Who will give you weapons in captivity to shoot yourself, Comrade Kalina?" "An officer must escape from captivity. Sit down, Comrade Kalina. We'll have to detain you after class." Anka laughed. Komitonov looked at her and said, "Comrade Litvinenko, please come to the blackboard."
Why are you calling me by my last name, sir?
"To the blackboard, please," Komitonov insisted. Anka came out under the sly look of Comrade Kalina. Komitonov continued. "So, Comrade Litvinenko, please draw us a position of a motorized rifle squad for defense on a normal sector of the front."
It's a piece of cake.
Anka replied and took the chalk. While she was tapping it on the blackboard, Komitonov was sorting through some papers that obviously contained a lesson plan. Suddenly noticing that the other students were clearly choking with laughter, Komitonov felt something was wrong and looked at the blackboard. "What is this?" He was indignant when he saw drawn soldiers with machine guns and a commander with binoculars.
A position?
Anka answered in surprise.
Now I'll drop the cavalry.
"What cavalry in our years?" "So, with you two, everything is clear. Erase everything and sit down. Glancing over the list of students once more, Comrade Ivanov despaired and called out. Comrade Ivanov Jr., please come to the blackboard. Sanya slightly pulled back the collar of his jacket, but got up and walked over to the blackboard. Comrade Ivanov said, all hope is on you, sir. How many rows does a T-34 tank have? 5. Sanya immediately answered. Comrade Ivanov slapped his forehead savagely. Damn, my son, damn! Tell us about the procedure for installing plastic explosives with an electric detonator, please. Stick explosives? Press an electric detonator into it. Stop. Sit down, you failed the exam. Comrade Ivanov was completely upset. Son, you cannot press an electric detonator. It can explode. With a special calibrated stick, you first need to make a hole for it. Everything with you students is clear. The situation is hopeless. We'll learn. Comrade Ivanov got up and took a pack of thick notebooks from the table and bent to distribute them to his students. Get notebooks, now we'll write.
I don't have a pen.
Comrade Kalina said almost delightedly. Comrade Ivanov took some package and approached she with it. Comrade Kalina, here is a pen, a pencil, an eraser, a protractor, a compass, a square, and even a slide rule for you.
And a calculator?
Stop fooling around. Military is no joke. Comrade Kalina, shame on you. You have such forces in submission, and you don't even know simple things. Comrade Ivanov sat down at his teacher's desk and took the text of the lecture in his hands. So, comrades, we write Basic Defense. 2 hours later, after the coveted shot bell, the students literally crawled out of the classroom exhausted. Next session tomorrow! Comrade Ivanov shouted to the students.
How good it was under arrest.
That's all Comrade Kalina could say. By the way, Comrade Kalina, stay for next lesson. Evening has come. Anka again sat at Sanya's house and played the guitar, and Sanya diligently read the textbook History of the Communist Party and was drinking tea. Comrade Kalina was in the kitchen and thinking stirred the boiling soup. When the phone rang. The phone has already made 3 calls, but Comrade Kalina did not react in any way. Anka even stopped playing and shouted.
Count Marina, why don't you pick up the phone? It's obviously Ramachan calling to take off your panties with a hammer and sickle again.
Comrade Kalina smoothly came out of her folds, put down the cooking tool, and said, going out into the hallway.
It's unlikely, Anka.
Anka looked at Sanya in surprise and asked,
Why is she so serious?
Sanya wanted to answer something, but then Comrade Kalina pushed the receiver away from her ear and, holding it out to Anka, said,
A call from Ukraine. We asked for Uncle Litvinenko. Huh? Damn it!
Anka muttered angrily, putting down the guitar. Approaching the phone, she almost rudely picked up the phone handset and began to shout.
What, mother, father? And here you found me! And I don't care what you can't understand this language! I will speak it on purpose! Ha! I didn't give a damn about your pills! I saw them in the coffin! You shouldn't have called me a son! Son, son, son! I wish that someone calls you dad all your life! I won't go back for anything! I will marry here and stay! What? Just try to come here, I will say that you're an American spy! At a bullet right away! My commander is so hungry, like a hungry dog! She will shoot you without a doubt! Here she's already taking the safety of the weapon! What? I'm at my lover's house! And his mom answered the phone! We have already met! Tomorrow we are going to register a marriage! And today we have already been to the pharmacy! Fire you!
Irritably throwing the phone handset, Anka sighed with satisfaction and turned to Sanya. The tea-splattered book lay on the floor at Sanya's feet, and Katerina looked as if Anka had sworn at Comrade Stalin.
This is a cool conversation with a beloved mother.
Katerina drawled, full of impressions.
She annoys me! Son! I already had such boobs, but she still called me a son! Yeah. But about the groom, you are joking, I hope. Looks like he's been hit in the face with my panties again. Oh, of course I was joking, Sashko. Do not be afraid. And where's my Tola? You promised me a romantic date with him. Your Tola most likely will not be released from the sanatorium for a long time, Anka. Sorry.
The next day, Anka and Raya went to undergroom care to train alone. Asanya was asked by girls from a music club to rehearse one song with them. When Anka and Raya entered the elevator, Anka, who was a little upset but she would not see Tola for a long time, decided to have fun.
Rust,
Anka said cautiously, approaching Raya almost close to the side.
Is it true what you frightened one girl, what you could kiss her passionately?
Raya turned her head and stepped aside and said,
Well, yes, it is. But what? Rust, kiss me passionately.
Raya stepped back into the corner of the elevator and asked, dumbfounded.
Are you crazy, Carol? Please kiss me.
Anka insisted, continuing to come closer.
Did you get a manga about lesbians or what? Stop it! Kiss me, my light!
Raya swung and loudly slapped Anka on the cheek. She put her hand to the mark and said,
hit me again.
At this point, the elevator reached the desired floor. As soon as a gap formed in its door, Raya immediately slipped through it like a bullet.
Rust! I was just joking!
Anka shouted.
I was joking! Damn noble hells!
At this time, Sanya stood on stage with a wand in front of a school women's rock band, which included a vocalist, guitarist, a drummer, a bass player, an electric violinist, and a cheerful trumpet player. Sanya waved his wand and tapping it on the pipette, cheerfully ordered,
1, 2, 1, 2, 3! Yes! Yes! No, stop! Girls, don't you have lunch?
The orchestra was indignant.
You are the devil! I want to take a shower! I want to eat now! I'll eat the notes! Why the hell did we invite him to rehearse? Stop talking! Art requires sacrifice!
Sanya barked, feeling the officer genes waking up in him.
Well, girls, from the beginning. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3!
Catching up with Raya only in the training room, Anka somehow managed to convince Raya that everything that happened in the elevator was just a friendly joke and that there was no need to complain to the police about the director for such a scenario. Just when Katerina and Kontagevich came and the next test for synchronization with the dice began. History is silent about who Anka was mentally angry this time, but by the end of the test, the result was simply devastating. Each turn of Anka brought her at least 10 points. Raya took his defeat quite calmly, and Anka, being very proud of herself, even tried to invite Katerina to a checkers duel. But before Katerina had time to flash a brutal spark in her eyes, Komentonov called everyone to the final 5th lesson. So, Komentonov said cheerfully, already habitually opening the tablet in the classroom. Check attendance. Akagevich Rimma. I'm here, she replied impartially as always. Good. Ayanamo Raya.
I'm here,
Raya said, quickly turning a pen between her fingers. Ivanov Jr. Of course, no one responded. Only Kalina shut her mouth so as not to burst out laughing and end up at the blackboard as a result. Ivanov Jr. Komitonov repeated more sternly and looked at the students over their glasses. At that moment, Anka, like a diligent student, raised her hand. Komitonov said, "Yes, Comrade Lieutenant."
Comrade teacher, Sashka won't come. He stayed in front of halls, waving a stick.
I'm sorry, what?
Well, this is he stayed to conduct a rock group. Halls from a school rock band called him to rehearse a song for the end of Steamgelion.
Wait a minute. Has rock music been invented yet?
So, is our pioneer, sir?
Well, when open your notebooks, we'll continue to take notes. But before the tedious lecture began, a siren wailed, giving a bright hope that 2 hours of writing could be avoided.
Hurrah! Alarm!
Exclaimed Comrade Kalina.
Alarm! Alarm!
Anka fidgeted happily in her chair. Comrade Gage and even Raya stared hopefully at Comrade Ivanov, waiting for his decision. He quickly flipped through the sheets of lecture material and with a sad sigh ordered, "Okay, prepare for battle." And our heroes ran out of the classroom with such joy that the expression of the eyes of the portraits of Stalin, Lenin, Engels and Karl Marx even slightly changed. And a new Sam was racing in the high sky again. Moreover, this new robot from America used a helicopter propeller as a means of keeping it in the air. The Sam, which Komitagevich would give a name to later, carried under its armpits some rectangular boxes, on the front side closed with armored shutters in which there were many small holes. The Ministry of Defense was scanning this time, sensibly judging that what was the point of wasting ammunition if the 3 young pilots could defeat any Sam? By the way, there were only 2 pilots now, since continuing to rehearse the song Sanya and the hungry and sweetie Soviet pioneers of rock did not hear at all how old and very wise teacher knocked on the doors of the concert hall, locked from the inside.
What does the headmaster say?
Asked Comrade Kalina, observing through her periscope and even standing upright. Comrade Ivanov hung up the phone and gave a report. He says that attempts to reach the musicians are futile. Those rockers.
Okay, we'll have to go without him again. Girls, have you heard? All hope is on you.
The task is clear.
Raya replied.
We can do it.
Anka replied.
Do not be afraid. Now my sweet doll and I will tear anyone to shreds.
Judging by her voice, Raya was clearly angry.
Hey, who are you calling a sweet doll? Oh, I'm talking about my robot, Rust. Why are you so irritable? Because I don't know what else to expect from you after hit me again.
Hearing about such an episode, Komitonov even bit off the cap of the pen and swallowed it. And Komitalina blushed to such an extent that second engineer almost mistook her face for an emergency signal lamp.
Save this to the surface.
Komitalina somehow managed to order, and the Soyuzers began to leave. It so happened that the Soyuz AC, after rising to the surface, turned out to be much closer to the Sam than the Soyuz AA. Noticing the Soyuz AC, the Sam died for several kilometers and, hovering in the air, began to start something. What is happening there? Komitonov demanded a report, seeing that Komitalina was clearly captured by the spectacle.
The Sam is trying to put his boxes in front of him. Oops, dropped one. No, dive, pick it up.
Finally, the Sam managed and both boxes were pressed to its chest. When it positioned itself so bad, the armored shutters with holes were directed downward. And a terrible noise shattered the city, the suburbs, and even partially reached the dungeons of Vandergrunker. Anka yelled, trying to reach her ears with her hands, but unable to do so because of her helmet. The Zeus AC repeated the same actions and almost dropped the weapon.
What kind of idiotic sounds? I'll die right now!
What it is? Cried Komitonov.
This is a psychological weapon!
Komikalina gasped.
Damn Jackson!
Shut that bastard up!
Anka played over the radio.
Ah!
Yes, fire!
Komikalina ordered, seeing how the Zeus AC wriggled.
How are you, man?
I'm holding on!
Raya spoke with difficulty, overcoming the influence of the Sam Jackson, stinking with sound with an inhuman effort of will.
Kill him, Rust!
I'll try!
Clenching her teeth against the insane desire to block your ears and run, Raya began to slowly raise her rifle, trying to catch the Sam in the skull. Anka, meanwhile, completely lost her head and began to shoot in all directions. Explosions danced around the capital, destroying buildings but did not retract underground and other elements of urban development.
Gallium, stop fire!
Komikalina ordered.
Get her down!
It's impossible! She got off the platform! Komitakevich replied.
Gallium, I order you to stop fire!
Komitonov took the initiative. Stop the Zeus AC!
Don't do it!
Objected Komikalina.
Who knows what the Sam might do next? Rust, shoot!
And finally catching the Sam inside, Raya pulled the trigger. But as soon as the flame escaped from the barrel of the rifle, the Sam immediately changed position a little and the projectile rushed past.
Bastard!
Raya backed and fired again. But the second huge bullet suffered the same fate.
Useless! It dodges!
There is no other way out. Komitonov barked and stood up. We'll have to use it. Komitakevich threw a glance at Komitonov and exclaimed.
But the instruction manual is not ready yet, sir!
Instructions are written for fools. Komitalina frowned and exclaimed angrily.
What are the mysteries again?
Now you'll see yourself, Komitonov said. Rust, do you hear me?
Yes, sir!
Get back to the platform, go down to the warehouse, and get the Clinton's shovel.
The Clinton shovel?
That's right. Only already the modified shovel.
It'll be done!
Komitakevich.
Yes, sir!
Komitonov pulled something out of his pocket and threw it to Komitakevich. She caught the object and recognized it as a bag of earplugs. Take it to Raya, Comrade Ivanov ordered, and Komitakevich left the command center at her run. By the time the Soyuz AA disappeared again under the surface of the Earth, Anka had used up all her ammunition and in complete insanity began to destroy the city with the bayonet and bombs.
Gallium, calm down!
Komitalina called to Anka.
Shut up with dumb nonsense!
She heard an answer to her plea.
Close your ears!
I have no right to take off my helmet in battle!
In general, when the Soyuz AA took up position with the Clintons' modified shovel clutched in its hands, the city already got pretty bad. Komitonov even began to glance nervously at the portrait of Comrade Stalin. Rushing back to the command center, Komitakevich pushed Komitalina away from the periscope and ordered.
Rust! Corner 48 and 4! Azimuth 120!
Huh?
Raya asked.
What?
Rima, you fool, she can't hear you now!
Komitalina barked, getting up from the floor.
Rust in short, shoot intuitively!
The Soyuz AA, overflowing with great power, rested its right foot and lifted the shovel on its right hand, aiming it with its bayonet directly at the Sam.
Fire!
Komitakevich shouted, and a violet flame with an incredible boom escaped from the nozzle of the handle of the shovel. Every area was enveloped in smoke in the blink of an eye. The fire scorched everything what was behind the Zeus Double A, and the shovel rushed like a huge arrow from the palm of the Zeus Double A. The Sam Jackson, seeing the shovel rushing at it, only grinned arrogantly and dodged a little to the right. But what was its surprise when the shovel also changed course a little? Frightened, the Sam even dropped one sound-emitting box and tried to move more, but it was already too late. Equipped with the latest homing system, the Clinton's shovel pierced through the Sam, literally tearing it into 1,000 pieces, and sped further into the sky, continuing to accelerate. The terrible music disappeared in an instant, and the shovel acquired a third cosmic speed, and having going beyond the orbit, sped off toward the moon. The Zeus Double A even collapsed to its knees at that moment and rested its hands on the asphalt. At the same moment, the pioneers of rock, under the direction of Sanya, just gave the last chord, and having come down, we finally heard that someone was banging on the door.
Whoa! It sounds like someone is knocking,
Sanya said, putting down his wound and heading towards the door of the assembly hall. Having learned from old and very wise teacher about the purpose of his visit, Sanya rushed to the nearest telephone. At the command center, everyone were still coming to their senses after the battle when the phone on the desk of Komitonov rang. Yes, I'm here.
Hello, Dad. I was told you asked me to call back.
Yes, son, but everything is in order at this moment. But I hope you didn't turn up the music too loudly at your rehearsal.
Yes, Dad, everything is fine. I learned almost all the history of the Communist Party.
So... Okay, son, we'll talk later.
Nothing. I'm going home already. See you, Dad.
Bye. Komitonov looked at Comrade Karina.
Oh, these rockers.
She drawled and then looked towards the radio.
Gelu, are you alright? How are you there?
I almost died, damn it!
Honestly confessed Anka, full of shame and bitterness. To be continued.